Hello everyone, welcome to this informative session from Royal Cyber. I'm Priyanka, working as senior mainframe consultant. Along with me, we have Vijay Lakshmi, who is driving the mainframe practice with Royal Cyber. She's leading various engagements and helping businesses onto the mainframe modernization and migration projects. Let me outline the pretext of this entire webinar for a smoother experience. So we'll be kicking off with the agenda that is planned for the day. Just in case you have any questions, please feel free to park it onto the chat window. Those will be catered towards the end slice of this meeting. You can also post your questions to the email ID listed here, info@royalcyber.com, just in case you have any question post this webinar. It will be great if you can share your constructive feedback through the survey form that is available at the end of this session. Also, just in case you encounter any trouble in listening audio or visuals with respect to this webinar, please feel free to raise the concerns onto the chat window. So today's topic is ADDI, that is IBM Application Discovery and Delivery Intelligence. So we'll be diving into the innovative features of application discovery and delivery intelligence onto the digital transformation and modernization approach. Let me take you quickly through the agenda that is planned for the day. So we'll be starting off with the core strength Royal Cyber is offering. We'll be taking you through the IBM ADDI and Wazi Analyze features, wherein we'll be covering the core functionalities and benefit IBM ADDI is offering. We'll be covering some projects wherein we'll be identifying dependencies, performance bottlenecks, and optimization opportunities. We'll be covering how ADDI drive digital transformations. We'll be sharing some real world application scenarios, and we'll be taking the questionnaires at the end of this webinar. Royal Cyber is the fastest growing IT consulting and digital transformation company. It is embarking into IT services solutions with the cutting edge technologies. We are offering services and solutions in various domains like e-commerce, cloud computing, digital transformation, DevOps, artificial intelligence, data masking, machine learning. We have been successful managing businesses for services from the last 2 decades. We have almost 2,500 plus consultants which are certified, and they are across the globes who are working on the architect and digital transformation roles. They have a strong strength onto this transformation and migration skill set. We have our headquarters in USA, Naperville. We have a global presence with UK, Canada, Australia, Middle East, and Mexico. We do have offshore delivery centers which are based out of India and Pakistan. We have strategic partnership with different uh, consulting and IT companies like IBM, Microsoft, Rocket Software, Broadcom, AWS, Heirloom, Oracle, which wherein we are eventually helping our customers onto the digital transformation, mainframe modernization, DevOps, and artificial intelligence and machine learning related projects. These are some of our clienteles that we have successfully associated to, and we are providing businesses to lead their mainframe modernization projects and digital transformation journey. These are some partners which we are associated with. We take pride in presenting the mainframe services that we are providing. We are providing mainframe infrastructure management, wherein we are covering the ZOS and ZVM systems. We are leading and helping businesses onto their PTF installations, configurations, maintenance, upgrade. We're also handling some engagements based on the software stacks, wherein we are covering the CICS, DB2, RACF, ACF, RDZ setups. We have been leading on the projects wherein we are covering ZOS migration and modernization projects. We are doing DB2 administrations, CICS administrations. We are handling the ZVM systems on the IMS, MQ explorers, and much more. We are also offering services on the application side, wherein we are covering the development and maintenance projects, which are based onto the mainframe languages like COBOL, CICS, DB2 assembler, VZAM, IMS, PL1. We are providing solutions and integrations with various applications. Also, we are handling some support in the tooling for the COBOL conversion and migrations. We have been expertise in the enterprise modernization, where we are covering many projects for different engagements with different clientels on their modernization engagements for IDZ, IDE, Git Hub, Big Bucket. We are also handling the ADDI for analysis and discovery intelligence. We are providing trainings and integrations, and also leading the integrations for different helping the businesses to for the CI/CD pipelines. We are also supporting mainframe consulting and monitoring services, wherein we are supporting 24 by 7 working onto the incidents and alert managements. We have some associations on the training side also, wherein we are giving the trainings on the moderation tools like IDZ, UCD, and helping businesses to adopt to their DevOps. These are some of the engagements that Royal Cyber is having with the large customers. These are some in-house assets and solutions Royal Cyber is offering. We are working and leading some projects and engagements wherein we are migrating the projects from Endeavor, Changeman, legacy platform to the modern SAMs like GitHub, GitLab, Bucket, and TFS. We are developing some in-house tooling which helps and customize these applications based on different clients. We are providing services on the ZDevOps solutioning. We are also helping many clients onto their middleware development and deployment through UCDs. We are also building some tools like some other inbuilt tools that IDZ is offering. Along with that, on top of it, we are doing some customization and tailoring with respect to different applications and clients. We are working on some web services, and also we have been involved in tooling that is to for the COBOL migration projects. And as we said, we are also offering services on the monitoring, and we are coming up with the tools for performance and optimization. These are some of our ZDev stacks which we have handled from the last couple of years. So today we'll be covering mostly onto the ADDI. So what exactly is IBM ADDI? So as it's stated here, IBM ADDI is a combination of application discovery, wherein it is covering the understanding, visualization of dependencies, flow, usage, and impacts. It is discovering the application that is running from the past several years and associates its dependencies. It allows the architects to visualize program relationships and dependencies, which is very crucial for accurately refactoring monolithic applications into modular components. Wazi Analyze is one of the components that is a containerized component that creates rapid graphical developer repository level analysis in an installation free and configuration free web UI based on a repository. The combination drives us to the evolving IBM application discovery and delivery intelligence, which is a cognitive DevOps and continuous modernization for the digital transformation. So in this webinar, we'll be diving into the core functionalities of IBM ADDI, its roles in improving the mainframe application landscape, enhance decision making, and web UI based repositories for analyze and create graphical reports. So, this is how it looks like from a broader perspective. Through this intuitive visual capabilities, ADDI enables users to gain comprehensive visibility into their mainframe ecosystem, facilitating the identification of dependencies, performance bottlenecks, and optimization opportunities. Here we have a Windows Server machine wherein we have our local file system. So this is a machine wherein we will be running the ADDI or we'll be accessing the ADDI through a Windows Server machine. Then we have Wazi Analyze, which is interacting with the Windows Server machine through the SSH or HTTPS protocols. So IBM Wazi Analyze can be accessed through web browsers on Windows Server machine. It's a container that is deployed on the Linux environment, which can be accessed through these protocols. So we can have different components for the analysis, and we can categorize into those into different projects. So those we are interacting through the web application where we'll be deploying the application onto the Linux machines, and we'll be handling the analysis features that is related to those through the web portals. So what's the challenges that we have into the digital transformation? So the challenges are like in case we are going with the transformation journey, we are delivering with the minimal time, risk and cost. Clients are challenged in modifying their aging business critical applications because these applications are existing from the past decades and we don't have the SMEs available. So the changes which are with respect to the transformation are often rely on the manual analysis, and those are really error prone, and it is just through the different employees which we have a limited domain expertise. Also the applications are poorly documented, which also increase risk and efforts with respect to transformation. So as we say, you can change or use what you don't understand. So this is one of the very important aspects when you are trying to drive any of the change request or you want to cater any modernization project or a migration project whatsoever. You need to understand your legacy code. So it's crucial to understand your existing application and its key enterprise assets. But you might have seen, since these applications are being laid and created years back, so as the time passes, it is often a lack of detailed understanding of those applications. So in that case, like ADDI plays a very crucial role. It's just not give you the dependencies and the impact analysis associated to one application, but also it drives you the overall dependencies which one application is holding with the interfacing applications. Along with that, you can also drive the relationship between programs, jobs, or tables and the dependencies it is having on each other, which will give us a pure visual representation, stats, reports, graphics to understand your application fully, and it won't leave any room to miss any of the impacts, which will definitely going to improve your code quality, code coverage, test coverage, productivity, and also it avoids any of the unforeseen, circumstances or issue that you might come across while missing any impacts. So this is how this history of digital transformation is based on the last 4 decades, how the applications were interacting with each other. So if you see, this is in the very initial times, there are interfaces which are independent of each other, and in order to drive the results or the dependencies or in order to cater some requests which are interacting with different applications, you have to drive those individually, and then you need to correlate those results, which is a very time consuming process. Later, there are generic interfaces called by many applications that comes into the picture, where many applications are interacting with different interfaces and there are calls being made to different applications based on the generic interfaces. Then comes a where we were focusing on making easier to provide and manage interfaces. So middleware comes in the picture, wherein it was middleware provides the overall insights with the interfacing applications. So in the today's world, it is more of focusing on making it easier to discover, consume, and combine interfaces so that we can have the single source of truth. And if there is any of the change request that needs to come in, that can collaborate and unite it under one stream, wherein we can make changes, we can do the development, we can do the software control management, we there could we could have CI/CD orchestrations to different pipelines, quality control, compilation, check, release, and the deployment. So there are different tools which are now available, interacting on a single workbench and making calls to different subsystems, wherein we can derive the results through a single source of truth. So application discovery, AD, gives you a thorough understanding of your application. It helps to consume information from your enterprise assets, your code base, and then also it helps in the digital transformation. It makes it easy to drive the dependencies, and based on that, you can easily consume and convert the monolithic applications and code into a modular approaches. We can also drive static code analysis on your different languages, which are mainframe related languages, and it is interacting with the other subsystems like CICS, DB2, IMS, IWS, MQ. So any calls that are being made there, or the dependencies it has on those subsystem, it can be derived with graphical infographics. Along with that, we can also make uh, queries and can open access the resources like copybooks, tables through the code itself with the highlight and the click. With a single click, we can drive all this information in a one go. Since we have discussed that, all your enterprise assets are your key for your existing application, so it is very important to rewrite your code and reuse to rewrite your code for a more modern approach, which is easier to change. But in that case, you need to reuse your already existing code, because that will be more of proven to work, and their mission critical applications. You need to go along with the using concept to support those applications with the large investments. So IBM Application Discovery and Delivery Intelligence is your discovery and delivery tool. When we say that, it specifies that with the help of these tools, you can visualize and auto document your assets. You can turn your source libraries into accurate call graphs in a click, as we discussed. It can also isolate and troubleshoot in hours, not weeks. It will help you to discover application dependencies and deliver with quality. You can know exactly where your data is sourced from. As we discussed, there are different subsystems are there, those are interacting with your code base. So you can easily derive exactly where is the source your data or application is based on. You can visualize and analyze relationship to make changes safely and efficiently, so that there won't be any misses on the impacts. So there are no more roadblocks or rollbacks. Then it also helps you to modernize and transform with confidence, because you will be able to drive the business rules and also lay the understanding of the application. So we would be having APIs which are making these calls and give you the results on a go. Also with all these interfacing, interacting, and getting this source of truth as a single way, you can seamlessly integrate CI/CD orchestration to escalate your development. So this is again, it has give you the further features that we we can derive with the relationships between different applications, components, data, and job. So this is how this architect for ADDI look like. So here we would be also doing a demonstration how we are able to drive the graphical reports, results, and how the different applications are interacting with each other and how those are integrated. So we have a workbench that is called IDZ. There we would be having a ADDI perspective, which does the AD analyze, AD build, and AD connect. It is interacting onto a AD repository wherein all your code base is stored. And when there are calls made through these APIs through IDZ, those are integrated with the ADDI. All these approaches analyze, build, and connect. And there, with the analyze, it will help you to do the static code analysis, wherein you can get the graphical representation, reports, annotation, used usages for based on program usage, job usage, or any of the field usage. And then it is interacting. Then you can also build through AD. So what AD Connect is doing is it is interacting with the ZOS through your mainframe agents, and it tries to drive the data from different subsystems like DB2, CICS, IMS, SMF, TWS, Changeman, PDS. And once your analysis build happens, there comes the delivery intelligence, which actually monitors the performance, artifacts, stats, and also tries to interact with different other applications with the format that those applications are able to understand and ingest and interpret. So this is how you can see where and how ADDI fit into the digital transformation. So as we discussed that we have source code which might be lying onto the AD repository, wherein it will drive those IBM, where we will be having IBM application discovery, build, client, static code analysis. So this is one of the approach where is interacting with the Wazi Analyze. So we discussed that Wazi Analyze is a web-based containerized application that is deployed on the Linux environment, and you can analyze your code through the web portals itself. And now into the ITZ workbench. So here we can pull the ADDI perspective. To get that, we'll go to the perspective, and then we will open the ADDI perspective, which is application discovery browser. So once we get that, we get this view wherein we can explore different projects that are being stored on the AD repository. One of those is GenApp. So let's explore the graphs that are there with this project. So here, this scenario which we are discussing will give you a glance that how IBM ADDI helps to understand the architect of an application or a project. It will help you to create graphs to find individual components of applications and the relationship or dependencies that they have within the programs, jobs, data, or even it can derive you the dependencies and how those interface applications are interacting with each other. We can also view copybook layout, the variable definitions, and we can understand the parameters, the mapping that it has in the calls that are being made. So let's explore one of the areas wherein we can get the graphical representation with the program call graphs. So for that, we can go into the mainframe graphs and there will be getting this program call graph. So if you see there, it will showcase you all the program that are available, programs that are available, and you can select the programs that you want to drive for the to see the dependencies. We can select some of those and can launch that for the dependencies. You can also pull the entire setup. So now you see the program which we have selected are being derived through visual representation. So here you see there are different tools that are available. So we can change the layout to the any of the formats that they want. We have symmetric, we have circular. So if you want to change the graphical representation, the circular formation, you can do that by using these tools that are available. Also, we can filter any of your inventories that are showcasing here. So suppose I want to go and look into any of the programs. So these are the programs that it is showing up. And for example, if I have to locate one of the program, I can just go and filter that up. So it will give you the exactly the representation and it will point you to that particular program in this graphical layout. So let's see, we want to drive this. So it has taken you to that particular program. So this is highlighting over here. So this is how we can filter out, any artifacts that we want to, modules or a table or a transaction. So we can just explore that with these inventories. So now I have tried to filter out onto the customer table. So I'll just put in the customer here. That is my table name, and I'll go here and I'll show you the table how it is laid in that particular graphical representation and which all modules are interacting with that we have selected. Then you can see there are different legends that are available. So there are different icons you can see, and you can see the details associated to that, how which that icon looks like and what it represents based on the legend view that is available. So you can see these orange are the icons are the CICS transactions. Then we have COBOL programs, files, tables, maps. So you can pull any of these informations across the graphs. So it gives you a overall idea of how your application is in programs are dependent on each other, how the calls are being made, if there are any tables or it is interacting with any of those transactions, you can easily get those details. If there are any files from which the data is derived, even that it will showcase. And there are arrows which showcase how this flow is driving and how the data is flowing across the different uh, dependencies and relationships. So then we have other graphs also which we would like to see. Let's go to the one of the transactions that it is having. So let's explore this transaction, that is CICS transaction SCC SSC1. And to To see the transactional graph, we can just go to here and then mainframe graphs, and then we can check onto the transactional graphs. Here it will give you the overall representation, how this transaction is interacting with a different code base. So if you see here, there are some arrows which are flowing from and to from this COBOL program. So we can see there are screens map which is showing up here. To see the screen layout also, we can just do it from here. We can just go to the layout and then pull the screen layout from here itself. So it will give you the screen that is created out of that, and the transaction is interacting with different components. There we have seen the screen layout. We discussed about these arrows, how the data is flowing and the applications are interacting. So if you see, here is a customer table. So this shows the arrow that is going to this particular program. So it shows that the data is being derived from this particular table, and that table is getting the data from then other program. So this is how these components are placed and gives you the information insights of your in components that you want to do the impact analysis for. Also, you can just click on these arrows and you can see the source that is associated to it, the calls that are being made to each other. So for that, you just need to do the analyze source, and then you can select that from the file, which particular source at which point you want to analyze. This will take you to the source and it will give you the overall information. So here it has taken us, is being uh, this map is being received into this particular transaction. So there we have seen how the different application subsystems are interacting with each other, how the data is being accessed and used. So now we'll be discussing one of the more demonstration wherein we'll be covering the Wazi Analyze. As we discussed that IBM Wazi Analyze is a web-based application that runs on the containerized environment. So while IBM Wazi Analyze can be accessed through web browsers on a Windows Server machine, Wazi Analyze container is deployed on the Linux environment, which can be accessed through the SSH or HTTPS protocols. Let me take you through that. Here we'll be discussing like how the source files can be analyzed on the local file system, which is onto the maybe Windows Server machine, and these files can be transferred to the Linux system through the protocols and the location that is mounted onto the like Wazi Analyze containers directories for Wazi analysis and scan. So if you see, we have a PuTTY client configurations wherein there are different protocols that are specified here. We have derived one of the projects, that is demo user. Let's open that. So I'll just issue some commands to start my Wazi analyzer. So now you can see the change, that is now changed to the bash command. So it has taken us to the Linux environment. So let's explore our configuration file. So here we'll be trying to view our configuration file. So here you see there are three projects that are configured here. Project, GenAppC, and GenApp. So let's exit from here once we see which all projects are there. So this will exit the VI editor and it will take you back to the command prompt. So here we'll just try to scan our GenApp project. So for that, we'll issue this command. So this is scanning our project. Then we'll just start the Wazi Analyze script. So now you see the Wazi Analyze API server is now running. Now we can just explore this particular application through the web portal. To do that, we just need to launch any of the browsers. And these are the URLs that we have configured for these. So it says your Wazi Analyzer API server is running. Then we can explore the project configured on this particular through this portal. So it will ask for the so this has shown us the different projects that are configured on that Linux environment. So let's explore one of those. So here we have already load the artifacts and it is showing all the artifacts that are there. So let's pick one of that. So you can see this program COBOL is making calls to different programs. There is one of the unknown program which has no entry. So this can be a dead code that is being referred here. So this can be eliminated. And there are other programs which are shown up here, which are for the code that are being referred through this particular module. So if you see, we can see the properties, we can see file references, or we can also see the content of the source through these different options that are available. So with this source file references, we can see the different copybooks that are associated to that. And here we can see the content of the program. So now you can see that, the entire report that is with respect to the analysis, the graphical representations can be derived through the web portal also. So with these demonstrations, we can see how we can gain a comprehensive and understanding of the objects and resources that you are or would plan to leverage when you expose or enable your APIs. It is really crucial, as we discussed, to analyze down to the lowest possible component level. So here we can see the source, we can see all the declarations that are associated to a particular component. Therein we can gather as much information that is possible. So in the current discovery process, that the for the demonstrations that we have for these two scenarios, we can even see the copybooks that are associated with the program code, and the available associated candidate APIs that you can plan to expose. You can also analyze your source by using these functionalities and view the results as a reports or graphs. So now, by harnessing the combined power of ADDI and Wazi Analyze, you your organizations can accelerate their journey towards digital transformation. They can leverage data-driven insights to drive strategic decisions, mitigate risks, and optimize your resource utilizations. This is all about we wanted to cover for today. So now we'll take you to the question and questionnaires forum, wherein we can cater the questions if there are any.